Tavian Branch has decommitted from Rutgers University. He's 3.5 star depending on the site. Number 1 defensive tackle in Pennsylvania. So he's just doing it to keep options open. Originally committed in June. I'm hoping he recommits later. There's still a lot of time. I don't want to sound like a condescending old head, but yeah, he's a great young man, and I hope that he still chooses us.
Yeah, Tavian was a great guy. It was a great interview, and we wish him the best of luck. Hope he becomes a Scarlet Knight, but whatever he chooses, best of luck to you, Tavian, and in your future.
I will say best of luck to him, and I completely understand why he would do that, knowing that he's coming into, I think this is his senior season. So it makes 100%. It makes a lot of sense why he would want to reopen everything, because going into your junior year, especially as a recruit in football, that's the year where you put out a lot of your tape, and then senior years when you really want to make your decision. And a lot of players decide maybe junior is the right time to commit to a school, but that extra year brings a lot of extra opportunities. And from what I did my research on in regards to Branch, he was still being looked at by Penn State. There was interest by a lot of SEC schools, Oklahoma, Florida as well. And now with him decommitting, those teams are back in the running.
Yeah.
And they've been rumored about how they still have that high interest in Branch, and both of these teams would be just the rich getting richer. There is a chance still for Rutgers due to what Branch posted on his X account, saying that there were no bridges burnt between Branch and the coaching staff. So that does leave an out of Branch if he does want to recommit after the season, and he goes back to thinking maybe it was better where I was at currently, seeing all the other potential opportunities. But if he ends up staying, is a great thing. And Rutgers just right now have an uphill battle, because outside of Branch and Wadi Collier, who reclassed to 2025, the rest of their class and just the people that they've targeted on the defensive end and just in general, just on the D line, a lot of them have chosen different paths. Tyson Haley, the 4-star edge, committed to Penn State. The defensive tackle Preston Carey, another 4-star from New York, from St. Anne's to be exact, he ended up committing to Georgia in late June. So my genuine question is right now, especially for the both of you, is does Tavian Branch's decommitting influence anything with Donovan Jackson as well?
So focusing on Tavian Branch for a split second, and then I'll definitely get to that question. First off, I wanted to say that, Jason, I understand where you're coming from with that, but when we had Tavian on the show, he was talking, well, first off, we asked him what was the selling point for Rutgers, and he said he was really between Rutgers and Oklahoma, and Penn State had already offered him a scholarship and everything, a deal, NIL, whatever have you. And he said the difference was that Rutgers was selling him as the sort of leader from day one, and like really channeling in on him as a recruit instead of just being part of a system. They were saying, you can be a system, sort of similar to how Air portrayed the Michael Jordan recruit from Nike. Like he was really saying like that's how Rutgers was viewing him, was like, you can be one of the future leaders of this team. And he said Oklahoma was a close second, but that's why he chose Rutgers. So I'm just bringing my point back out there that Tavian, if you want to join Rutgers, that is still an opportunity. You can still be not only a part of this team, but a leader of the team moving forward. And as for the recruiting, I don't think it affects it too much, because he said that he, has talked to Wadiq, he's talked to DT, he's talked to, Jordan Walker, and that's, nice, but like he hasn't really branched out too much to the other guys, it seems like, at least in his class, that have sort of swayed Rutgers in the defensive end. I am excited, at least offensively, for Xavier Stearns to come in, though, because, outside of, AJ Surrass, we don't really have any other backup quarterback this year. And then next year, so far, it's just AJ Surrass. So I'm excited to see moving forward how the quarterback class looks.
Yeah, and Donovan, you said Donovan Jackson, right? Was that who you mentioned?
Yeah, it's the 3-star D tackle.
Yeah, so I guess I would say it depends on the relationship that they have. If I don't know how close their relationship is, but if they do have a close relationship, sure, it could absolutely influence it. I do think, on the other hand, that these players are going to make their own individual decisions on where they think the program is a best fit for them. So maybe it could, and that's unfortunate. But we just got to keep moving forward and hope that there's going to be other recruits, and maybe Tavian will decide to stay at Rutgers. So we'll see.
And that's sort of the point I had about Tavian possibly staying too, because when Jared Smith had his choices down to, I believe it was Georgia, Georgia Tech, Auburn, and Rutgers, everyone was saying Rutgers doesn't belong in that. They're not going to get Jared Smith. I was saying the fact that Rutgers is still in the race is a good thing, because he's considered that we don't have as many wins recently. We're not as talented. He's considered all of that. And clearly that wasn't a decision difference, or I guess a factor for him. And I sort of think that's the same thing for Tavian. People were saying on Instagram and X, like, oh, he saw the defense allow 31 points to Ohio, and the next day said, F this, I'm out. I think that he knows that the Rutgers defense, though it should improve this year, is still a work in progress. And I believe that part of the reason he originally committed is because he wanted to be the change.